Please ignore my tired face. This is urgent. Please take this seriously. It is very urgent. I have a story in my inbox. I want us to do two things, but I will name the two things after we have read the story. Please come along. Let's read. I saw your video on Blood Covenant. I would like to tell you my story, but right now, just please keep my identity secret, please. I'm from Alabama and I fell in love with a guy from Imo State, Owerri. We talked for months, almost a year. I did video calls with him and his dad, or rather the man who pretended to be his dad. I really don't even know where to start. After a year into the relationship, he told me he was not from the US, that he was from Nigeria, Imo State, Owerri. I really fell head over heel in love with this man, and I didn't care where he was from. He even introduced me to his dad, or so he said it was his dad. Now this guy asked me for money and I gave him money each time he asked for it. I believed him when he said he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. His dad also helped him to get money from me. He managed to get over £20,000 from dollars from me, counting what I gave him and what they took. I even went to jail for fraud because of them both. I was sent a check and asked to deposit it and show him where I made the deposit. And not thinking, I did that. The next morning when I went to my bank to draw the money out for them, the money was gone and I was arrested for fraud. The check was fake. I have felt like such a fool for letting this happen to me. I should have been smarter than that. The one who was the dad was married with a little girl. He asked me to marry him. We done a blood covenant. Please bear that in mind. That blood covenant, I want you to bear that in mind because we're going to talk about it later. He has his own comedy skit where he posts on social media. Maybe someday I'll be over this where I can move forward, but it's all too fresh now. My heart is broken right now. Any advice you can give, I will appreciate. Thank you, ma'am, for your time. Okay, now, do not forget that I told you about the blood covenant, that you should bear that in mind. We're going to talk about that blood covenant later. So I found the man, the skit maker. I have his full name, his TikTok social media ID. I have it. I'm sorry, I will not be the one to disclose the identity. We will discuss that later in this video. I found him. He's such a unique guy. I love him. I was disappointed when I found him because I love this guy. I watch his skit. He's so different from all these other skit makers that make their skit around a woman's body and all that. He's so unique, brilliant young man. But I was disappointed when I found out it was him. Okay? If you're dating a skit maker in Nigeria, good luck to you. All right. So please let us get back to the story. The relationship I had with my guy was everything I ever wanted. My guy knew what to say and when to say it. It was so deep in my soul that I sold things for him. I stole things for him. There was nothing he asked me to do that I wouldn't do for him. He would ask me for money and I would do what I had to do to make sure I got it for him. I lost everything, my house, my car, even my family. I became a beggar on the street because of him. I loved him, but he done what he done best, and that was play with my emotions. I don't blame it all on him. I'm to blame too. Had I just not replied back to his text, none of this would have happened. Had I not replied back his text, none of this would have happened. Now, this coming December, I am going to court for fraud because the check he sent me was fake. I'm looking at 3 years in prison if I'm found guilty. It's really sad because I'll be in jail all the while he's with his wife over there enjoying his life. Do you have any advice for me? I do appreciate all the advice I can get. So I went on to speak to this woman, not to blame myself and all that. So I asked, is he still in Nigeria or in the US? And down there he said, he's in Nigeria, Imo State, Owerri. My family has disowned me because of this. I no longer get to see them. I'm all alone here. I'm 60 years old and I have 3 grown kids and 5 grandsons that I can no longer see. I am on my own here. Now that we have read the story, this is what I want us to do. There are 2 things I want us to do. As you can see on the screen, you can read it for yourself. Okay, this woman is still hooked to this man. This man told him, like you can read on the screen, that she will never be free from him, and which is very true, because of that blood covenant. Remember, I told you to bear that blood covenant in mind. Because of that blood covenant that they did, she will not be able to free herself from him unless we break that spell. So now that's one of the help that we need, that this woman needs. How do we get this spell broken? And the second help is this. What do we do? How do we stop this man? Because I know that by now, because he knows that this woman will be going to jail, by now he's on to his next victim. And as you can read on the screen, this man also has boys around him that he's trained into this scam thing too. That's why I said, if you're dating any comedy skip maker in Nigeria, good luck to you. But how do we stop this man from defrauding another woman? By now I know he's on to another victim. Okay, what do we do? How? Please, this is urgent. We need help. I need help. This woman needs help. I am sorry, I will not be able to disclose his identity. The woman will be the one, if she wants to disclose the identity, because of my own safety. Since I started the Relationship Scam series, I know what I have experienced from men in my inbox, cursing me, threatening me and all that. So because of my own safety, I'll not be disclosing the ID. But I know him. His full name, his identity on social media. So we need help. What do we do? Okay? When I first made the blood covenant video, I was shouting because I know to what extent that thing is, what evil that thing can do. Okay, the blood covenant is not what you think it is. It is evil. It is demonic. If you are in it already, you may not be able to break free from it unless you see somebody who is going to break that spell on you. And, when I want you to see the age difference between these two people, almost 30 years difference. This woman is old enough to be that man's mother, and that man took advantage of her, scammed her, and put her in trouble. When I was talking about Nigerian men not dating older women without a motive, a lot of you, especially white women with Nigerian men who are dating Nigerian men, there is one in my inbox currently, being rude to me, talking shit to me, because I went through her profile. I see that the man is with, I don't know what country he's from, but he's an African man and is much younger than her. So she's in my inbox attacking me. Okay? When we say these things, they don't date without a motive. If there is at least a decade age difference between you and this man, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. They don't date without motive. They are dating for a particular reason, to scam you. But many of you will still make excuses for them. Please, this woman needs help. We need to stop that man. We must stop him. He's on to his next victim. I know. He's 31 years old. He's from Owerri. He has a large following on TikTok because he's a skit maker, he's a comedian, and he's really very smart. His comedy, there is no way you will not fall in love with his comedy. I love him. I love his comedy too. I watch it. So this is what I want us to do. How do we break this spell? How do we stop this man from going on to his next victim? Please, the woman will be watching this video. She wants all the advice that she can get. I only know prayers. That's what I was raised with. And that is all that I do. And I have suggested it to her. And she said she has done it and all that. But if you have any other way, please suggest it. Ladies, older women, women in the West, be careful. I will keep shouting it. Be careful.